Greetings, everyone. This is Mark with Unlimited Story, unlimited-story.com, a channel dedicated to writing, world building, marketing, and most importantly, getting things done. In this video, I am here with EA Blackwell. Say hi.
Hi.
All right, so EA Blackwell, let me tell you about her. EA Blackwell is a first-time author who recently published Granite Windstarr, a grimdark dystopian thriller with an urban fantasy blend on Kindle Vella platform. She is cheerily announced at the age of 8 that she wanted to be an author. Her parents asked her if she wanted to live in the ditch. Have you lived in a ditch? Just curious.
I have not.
So she has
also
yet to.
Not like an author as a main job, though.
So she has yet to fulfill her parents' prophecy. So when she grew up, she suggested that she grow up into something else. Never to be deterred, EA continued writing, creating a pen name for herself at the age of 10, and finished her first novel, Granite Windstarr, at the age of 17. Does that mean the story is like how many years old? 17 years old.
Yeah, like 20 years old. I mean, it's been completely rewritten. There's not a single sentence that's the same as it was my senior project in high school. And anyone who has actually read part of Granite Windstarr realizes that it's likely that no one actually read any of it, or I would have been expelled immediately. So.
All right. And then EA was first a high school chemistry and math teacher, and later became a physician. During residency, she completed the 5-book grimdark fantasy series that spawned from her original novel, which is currently being rewrote, and hopes to rapid release the series once Granite Windstarr serial is complete. When is that going to be complete? Is it complete right now? Talk to me.
It is. Well, I mean, the actual story itself is complete. It's all uploaded in Vella. It's just coming out in serial format 3 times a week. Sometimes 4 times a week. I had some like reader challenges, and they were like number of likes in a certain day or number of followers, and they met them both times. So I give them like an extra episode if they meet that. But it should finish around the middle of September. And then the first book in the series is due out like the 3rd or 4th week of September.
Okay. So how many episodes is this serial going to be in grand total?
43 episode serial. So I believe I just came out with 27.
Okay.
On Monday, and it is 43 episodes, including the epilogue, and then there's also a bonus epilogue that I will be offering free to anyone who joins my mailing list.
Okay. And now, when you did a release, did you front load, or did you just start doing like a little bit every week, or tell me about that?
That's a really good question. So I thought about what I should do, because I'd heard, drop everything at once, front load a little bit, just start off with only 3 or 4. And Amazon had actually suggested that we start out with like 9 or 10 episodes to begin with, just to kind of get readers interested. And at the time, I didn't realize that they were going to be giving 200 free coins away.
Yeah, so great of them. Most kind.
So I think that was a good idea. I started with 9 episodes uploaded, and then started releasing on the Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule.
Mm-hmm. And that seems to be working pretty great for you, right?
It's working fine. I mean, I'm doing fairly well. I can't complain. I almost crashed my car when my husband texted me that I was in the top 10 on launch day, but I have yet to almost crash my car again.
All right, good.
Okay.
I mean, on the bright side, if you do crash your car, all your episodes are scheduled, right? So we'll
true.
still get them.
No matter what.
That is terrible. Your dystopianness is wearing off on me.
That's totally okay. It wears off on everyone, including my children.
Oh, those poor kids! Those poor kids. And how does that work? Your balance? Because obviously you're writing, because you're releasing your novels. I'm sure there's tons of other stuff that you're doing. How are you trying to balance that with a family life? Because a lot of us authors, we have kids, we have spouses, and 0 time.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not an easy thing. We were talking earlier before this that I used to play video games all the time. I mean, my husband used to call my World of Warcraft obsession like my part-time job. And when I started medical school, I kind of had to learn time management a little better. I had 2 kids in med school, had to quit gaming kind of cold turkey, and I've kind of gotten better at time management since then. Right now, I'm full-time as a physician. I have my 2 kids, my husband. It's nice because my husband works from home, So he helps out a lot. He was a stay-at-home dad whenever I was an intern and a resident for medicine, and it's tough. I work nights. I only sleep like 4 or 5 hours a night, but that's been normal for me forever.
You get a lot of free time in your day if you sleep less. Just so you know, you get a couple extra hours.
And so I usually, like, whenever I was writing my series, I would like carve out time. So there'd be a very specific time of day where I would just sit down and write no matter what. And that's really the only way I could get things done in a timely fashion. Because, as you said, there's just so much going on. It's almost impossible to just not have a schedule and get anything done.
Well, and one thing I bring up, and I tell people on my channel, is if you are truly dedicated, if you really want to get it done, you will find ways. There is time. There may not be much of it, but you can find it. Like, and it may be 15 minutes, but hey, it's time, you know?
Yeah, that's very true. And it doesn't take a lot. I've been writing forever, but I sat down and rewrote my entire series, and it's a little over 800,000 words, all books together, in about 3.5 years. And I didn't watch TV for about 1.5 years. That took a huge amount of time away.
It gets you some time, yep.
And I did like an hour and a half a day.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing too, and I've noticed this because I rewrote my first book, rewriting's way easier than writing. It is so much easier. Wow, it's so much easier. You know what's happening. You know the characters. You're like, now you're just like, I'm going to add some flavor to this or whatever.
Exactly. You know where you went wrong, and you read it, and you're like, exactly. I have no idea why I had them do that.
Why did I do that? Why would I do that? Okay. All right. So I got some extra questions here from the fans. But actually, even before I get in it, let's talk about Granite Windstarr from the beginning. So that was your release schedule. What are you doing for your marketing? Do you post on Instagram? Do you have email lists? Do you just do nothing and you just look at your dashboard and like, look at my day, it's great?
Well, I mean, I'm not great with social media. I wasn't expecting people to like it as much as they do. Whenever I threw it on a Vella, since I haven't been public before. So in the first week, I kind of like rushed, and I think I've been on Instagram and Twitter for years, but I think I had a total of like 10 posts between them, right? And like 30 or 40 followers. And so I kind of started posting like once a day on Twitter and Instagram, making it, my author. Social media. I started a Facebook author page that has a little over 200 people on it already, and then also I had my husband. Luckily, he's an IT guy, and so he made me a website. I, being the neurotic person that I am, had already bought the .com addresses of all the names of my novels years ago, including my pen name. So I just had to actually put something on it.
Okay.
And so that's about it. I mean, I have a newsletter that I'm trying to kind of learn how to do the whole newsletter game. It's slow going. But mostly it's like a post a day on Facebook, a post a day on Instagram and Twitter, and that's about it.
And you got
I have a TikTok. It has 2 whole videos on it. One of them is my book video, advertising book, and the other one is my dog jumping off of a porch, being excited about an episode dropping.
The dog probably has more views, doesn't it?
It has like 7 times as many views.
Yeah, dogs do that. Dogs will do that. And
it quadrupled my like number.
Now here's a question for you. Did you have like certain hashtags? Did you do something specific on your like Twitter and Instagram to get you the additional traffic?
I don't know. I mean, I just am starting to learn the hashtag game. I don't think I have them right at the moment. But I try to do like the hashtag am writing. I do like the book talk thing on TikTok, but no, I'm not very good at that.
Okay. I mean, neither am I. I'll keep that as a secret between you and me before I post this video. Anyway. All right. Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. Let's talk about your story because so I read the first 3, and I write dystopian. But my dystopian ain't no grimdark. So you did me dirty in my mind because I put it down after the 3rd one. And I was like, whoa, what am I signing up for? So what if you had your one sentence? That's one of my favorite things to do is the one sentence. What is a one sentence of your
dark retelling of. Oh my god! I don't know. I can't believe you did this to me. One sentence. You know how long it took me to write that 80-character blurb?
You wrote 800,000, right?
I'm totally good at writing 800,000 words at a time. I'm not good at one sentence. So basically, it's the I don't know.
Chick gets cursed and has bad luck all life.
Yeah, she's technically the.
Where are you drawing your super grimdark inspiration from? Is it from the Nether?
I think in the beginning, kind of from the Nether. I've always written very dark stuff from the time I was young. I mean, I think every author writes somewhat from experience. I'm not saying that everything that happens in Granite Windstarr is from experience. It absolutely is not. But you know, it's a combination of, I don't know, experience, coping mechanisms, and just have a really weird imagination.
Well, and a while ago you told me that some of these are just stories that you've heard from friends, right? Specifically like adoptions and such.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
Some of it, like I said, some of it is taken from real life. Not necessarily some of it mine, but friends I've had along the way, and like I said, all of the hard chapters I wrote with survivors of those things kind of over my shoulder as beta readers, things of that nature. So I'm not going into this thing taking any of it lightly at all. And I'm also like, I think one person was upset that I was like knocking the social workers and foster care system. That's not at all it. Everyone, like, it's literally a story, right? Like, some people have good stories, some people have bad stories. One story does not paint an entire picture of the way things are. But you can't necessarily have it both ways when it's a first-person narrative.
Yeah, you're right. So when you're creating your story, do you start first with the character? Do you think about the character first and then going through the world, or you have like a world in place and you're like, now I'm going to throw some characters into it? Do you have a preference? Do you have a mindset that you use?
It's a really good question. So for me, the characters came first. Most of the characters in my fantasy series have been in my head since I was a very little kid. And I kind of built the world around them from the beginning. And almost everything I write is in the same universe. It's a multi-dimensional universe, and just kind of, built it around the people that belong there.
I just want to throw this out there. That was not my question. That was from our good friend Jessica Aaron. So here's another one. Do you have any formal education or training or anything in the English domain or grammar or whatever we're going to call it? Besides, obviously we went to school and I'm sure there were English classes.
Formal training? No, I was turned away from the only creative writing class I ever applied to.
What do you mean they turned you away? They just made you turn around and kicked you in the butt, or what?
No. I went to a school where the creative writing class was on an application base only, and you had to submit writing. I was not dumb enough to submit something as dark as Granite Windstarr.
Okay.
But it was fantasy. And after they read it, the professor who I had been talking to for quite a while via email completely stopped answering anything that I wrote them. And needless to say, I was not on the list of accepted people. So, no, I've never had any actual creative writing, education, mostly for that reason. And but I've been, on fantasy and sci-fi forums for decades, and like helping with editing, beta reading, all that kind of stuff.
Well, and one thing I want to point out, because I actually just finished doing some reviews of stories, and one thing I gotta say is, actually, as one of my friends told me, don't yuck somebody else's yum, and I use that a lot because I think about, everything is up to someone's. Everyone's different, and what they enjoy is different. I didn't think I would enjoy romance at all, and I've been reading a lot of these Kindle Vellas that are romance, and I'm like, actually, this isn't. It's not what I expected, but it's something different, and many of them I'm finding enjoyable. I'm like, oh, these characters are neat, and I'm like, then you start seeing, okay, this is coming into play or whatever, and things that I've really enjoyed because I like fantasy. I write, like dystopian, a little bit of sci-fi kind of stuff. And, I'll read it and be like, well, I don't really like this one. It doesn't mean that I don't like that genre or whatever, but it's a style thing too. And it doesn't mean that it's good or bad. I mean, there are technical things, and I think every author can agree that there are technical things that need to be done. Your story has to make sense. You can't be jumping around. This isn't a Quentin Tarantino movie. Like, things should make sense. Mm-hmm. But if you can get the technical stuff right, then really it's just, about finding the right kind of people. And clearly, in your case, there are a lot of grimdark people out there, which makes me question.
I wasn't expecting that.
Well,
this is easily the darkest thing I've ever written. My series is also grimdark, but not anything like this.
Well, and here's my question to you. You weren't really expecting this level of success with this. You just threw it out there, right?
Yeah, I had no idea. So I was planning on finally, after some people who had been reading my stuff for decades as beta readers were like, you need to publish this. This is ridiculous. And many of them are authors that actually, are fairly well known. And so I was like, okay, fine. And then I was putting it off and putting it off, and I saw that Vella was coming up, and I had just finished a rewrite of Granite Windstarr, and it's the only thing I've ever written that would work in a serialized platform, because it's short, punchy chapters, cliffhangers, things of that nature. And my other stuff, while it keeps you interested, it just doesn't have that short cliffhangery feel to it.
Doesn't have that build, yep.
Yeah, I saw Vella was coming out, and I thought, I don't have a readership, so why not? I'll throw Granite Windstarr up on Vella, get it 10, 12 people, and when I publish my first book in September, maybe they'll come over and buy it. And I never expected to be anywhere up in the top of the Vella rankings.
No. It happened just the same. So let's all right. I don't have anything else I want to say. Is there anything else you want to bring up? Anything you want to ask? Anything on your mind?
No, I'm just want to thank everybody for their support, and I apologize for traumatizing you all with episodes 3 and 6, and if you skip those episodes, it still makes sense.
Yeah. Is real quick, what's your release schedule looking like? So you already mentioned okay, you're releasing all your stuff for Granite Windstarr. It's going to be done sometime in September. But you have your book series. What's the actual release schedule for that? What are we looking at if we want real books?
Yeah. So I'm looking at releasing the first book, like I said, after Granite Windstarr finishes, so around the end of September, and then everything will come out basically once a month.
Okay. Are you doing them through? KDP?
Yeah, I think I might do it through. I think I might do it wide with KDP also, right? So I know that Amazon holds the electronic rights, and then I have a lot of people who seem to be very interested in paperbacks. So I'll probably go through. Oh my gosh, now I'm totally blanking on the
KDP.
Well, not KDP, but there's another one to go wide that people always use, and I always forget what you go through. But
she might go through that, whatever that is.
I don't remember the name of it.
All right, well, I'm just going to wrap this up and say, if you guys have any other questions or want to know anything, just throw some stuff in the comments. I will have EA Blackwell I'll just link her the video, and she can just hop on the YouTube, as my parents would call it, and she can answer them for herself. I'll also put a link in the description to her website, so you can sign up for her mailing list or whatever else you want to do. Cool?
Cool.
All right,
thanks.
Yep, and if you guys like this kind of stuff, have questions, whatever, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. Hit me up on my website. I'll also have that stuff in the description. Peace.